With the recent release of Venom: The Last Dance, we were treated to a movie being called the end of the Venom trilogy and franchise, and it delivered just that with, spoiler alert, the death of Venom. The movie ends with Venom sacrificing himself to save the world from the threat of Knull. Eddie moves to New York and says he'll never forget Venom, and the movie ends. With that, we jump into the two post-credit scenes informing us that this may have been Eddie's last dance with Venom. But this world isn't over. The first credit scene shows Knull threatening us, but it's basically just teasing he'll be back. The second scene sees the bartender from the end of No Way Home and the beginning of this movie running away, a cockroach surviving the destruction of Area 51, and a broken glass vial that new character Dr. Teddy's symbiote used to live in, that symbiote being Agony. So what's next? They teased a lot, and we know we're getting a Kraven movie which will set Kraven against the Rhino and might tease Chameleon. We're pretty certain Spider-Man 4 will be the film to cross over the Sony universe with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and if you check out a video I released about 1 to 2 months ago on what we can expect from Spider-Man 4, it's looking like Knull may be the big bad for the film. Then after this, Sony's told us some of their ideas, but nobody knows if they're still happening. They've teased a Hypno Hustler movie with Donald Glover, an El Muerto movie with Bad Bunny. A Sinister Six has been teased like 10 times, a live-action Miles Morales film, and now they've even teased treating Knull like their version of Thanos to build up to this grand crossover movie. One that I feel like will actually deal with Agent Venom rather than the Venom that we saw in this first trilogy. So knowing all of this, but also knowing how disappointed how many people have been with what they've done with this Sony Spider-Man universe, I'm gonna fix it. So, welcome to Big Flick Energy, and let's get right into my plan for the future of Sony's Spider-Man universe. So we're gonna do one movie per video for this series, which will be ongoing for a while until I eventually make the overall plan as one holistic video. So the reason that this video took so long to make was because at first I was planning on doing that holistic video first, and I realized it was gonna be like a 2-hour long video. So it's probably better to just do one movie per video, make this a full series so every project can get its love. Now, because Spider-Man is owned by Sony, and Spider-Man 4 looks to cross over Spider-Man and Venom, we'll start with that. So Spider-Man 4. A similar story to what I stated in my previous video, after Avengers Doomsday, Battleworld is here. Knull, who was searching for the key to escape the prison on Clintar in Venom 3, is able to escape. How? Well, Clintar, based off Venom 3 and what we know about the symbiotes from Venom 2, seems more to me like its own universe apart from everything else. Maybe similar to the Void. It could be a prison like that. And there's nothing else in this universe apart from Clintar, which is why the xenophages in Venom 3 came after Venom through portals. With Battleworld and every world becoming one, Knull now lives in a world where he doesn't need access to the multiverse for the full hive mind, and can access the full hive mind through this fused world known as Battleworld. Now obviously Venom 3 set up that the symbiotes and Knull are not on the same side. But from the first Venom and Riot's role, I think it's obvious that the symbiotes split sides, with some being against Knull and some on Knull's side in some sort of civil war. He begins his reign of terror on Battleworld, but Tobey's Spider-Man, in fighting these symbiotes, recognizes them because of the event of his own Spider-Man 3, where he ended up with a Venom symbiote in his own world. He knows what is happening, but needs help to stop it, and finds this help through the two only heroes he trusts, those he met in Spider-Man No Way Home, Garfield Spider-Man and Holland Spider-Man. At the same time, the symbiote that went to the MCU at the end of No Way Home, that with the beginning of Venom 3, I'm not really sure if that's still what happened, but that piece of the Venom symbiote, it searches for Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. And now that he's in New York, he's closer than ever to Spider-Man. And he crosses paths with the Spider-Man on his journey, and joins up with them to search for Holland, alongside Zendaya's MJ, that we know to be in this movie and somehow joins the team. Now, I'm not sure exactly how Tom Holland should have to be found. I think it should be something that they set up in Avengers Doomsday, that maybe he gets lost or maybe he gets trapped, but some way that they're going to have to go on a journey to find him, because he's arguably the most important hero for Avengers Secret Wars from everything that we've heard about the movie so far. Also looking for Holland is a group who are trying to unite the Anchor Beings to take on Knull and Doomsday, which includes Star-Lord, who I'm not saying is an Anchor Being, but he was recently rumored to be in Spider-Man 4 and would have something to offer given Knull was the one who killed the Celestial known as Nowhere, who we've seen through the Guardian films. Also part of this team are TVA members, Anchor Beings like Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and none other than Deadpool, who isn't an Anchor Being, but if you're pairing what was a gimmick in his own film with Anchor Beings with Spider-Man and Deadpool, a character everybody wants to see interact with Spider-Man, it's a must for this film. And they're looking for Tom Holland Spider-Man because he is supposed to be the Anchor Being of Marvel's 616 universe. So we have these different groups looking for Tom Holland, and another group could be Vulture, Morbius, and let's say Kraven as well, where when Holland is found, they will have their own 3v3 battle with Garfield, Tobey, and Venom. I think that this is pretty important to set up just because of how Morbius ended, where they said they're going to start looking for Spider-Man. At least have some reason of why that scene existed and feed it into this movie, and then you can be done with it altogether after that. Eventually, these different groups will come together and take on Knull. They build a plan using everything they each know about the symbiotes and their weaknesses to strategize a plan that can kill Knull, who is slowly taking over Battleworld by making Marvel characters into symbiote hybrids. A lot of these are going to be based off of symbiote hybrids we've seen in the comics, but some of them will also just be unique ideas with characters that we've primarily seen in the MCU and would have very interesting skill sets with a symbiote on them. So some of these hybrids will include Hulk, X-23, The Thing, Miss Marvel, which I think would be pretty cool with how her powers changed in the MCU versus in the comics, and potentially others. Eventually, when the plan is in motion and the team is taking on Knull, Venom makes it clear this plan won't kill Knull, but it will neutralize him long enough to bring back the multiverse and find a way to lock him on Clintar once again after Avengers Secret Wars is all said and done. In the final battle, Venom is about to get killed by Knull. This is going to be a little jump to get to that point, but Venom is about to get killed, but instead Eddie will sacrifice himself, telling Venom he saved him so many times, it's time for him to do the same. Eddie dies and Venom searches for a new host from the team members, and in that moment, he fuses with Tobey Spider-Man as we get the return of the black suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3. And you already know, the theme song needs to come back in that exact moment. If that theme plays in Spider-Man 4 as Tobey gets the symbiote and he starts beating up some other symbiotes or beating up Knull, that would be crazy to see. But after a quick scene, Venom jumps off of Tobey because he saw the memories of what happened with the previous symbiote Tobey fused with and looks for a new host. He tries to fuse with Garfield, but Knull gets to him first. But then Wolverine cuts off Knull's arm. The symbiote's free again and lands next to Tom Holland's Spider-Man and fuses with him, giving us a Spider-Man much more similar to the one we saw in the Spider-Man 2 game on the PS5. And we finally get to see Tom Holland's take on the black suit Spider-Man. Ultimately, the team's plan succeeds and they're able to explode Knull from the inside out and contain his body in different realms by using Ghost Rider's Hellfire. Now, with finding Holland's Spider-Man, the team with 616's Anchor Beings and all of the other Marvel characters unvenomized can now come together to take on Doctor Doom. Before the film ends though, Tobey tells Tom that the battle is over now and that he can take off the symbiote. Tom disagrees and says they'll need it in the coming battle. Tobey starts to worry for Tom and goes up to him saying he won't like what the symbiote will make him. This scene will play as a fusion of Anakin joining the dark side in Revenge of the Sith and Bilbo not wanting to give the ring away in Lord of the Rings. Tom quickly realizes Tobey's right and Ghost Rider helps get Venom off of him by emitting sheer heat around him with his chains. And he realizes this because he sort of pushes Tobey away and he starts to become darker in that moment. And Zendaya gives him a strange look where he realized this isn't me. So after this, they contain Venom in the same glass tube that he was in to start the movie and give him to Dr. Michael Morbius, who says we'll take him back to his own world when this is all said and done. because they'll need him whenever Knull comes back for this world in the future. So, this is how we start this world, which will be the end of what I'll consider Phase 1 of Sony's Spider-Man universe. The watch order being Venom in 2018, Venom 2, Morbius, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Venom 3, all in that order, where Venom 2, Morbius, and Venom 3, I believe, all take place in 2019, based off a statement they said in Venom 3, saying that they had only been together, Eddie and Venom, for about a year. And obviously you have Spider-Man No Way Home thrown in there, even though it's also part of the MCU. And finally, part of Phase 1, Spider-Man 4, which we'll be calling Spider-Man King in Black. So, get ready for next week as we go into the first film of Phase 2, establishing how different this future world, once Secret Wars is over, will be. And we'll start Phase 2 off with the Lizard. So, thank you for watching this video. Please let me know down in the comments your thoughts on my idea for Spider-Man 4, what movies you're looking forward to seeing in Phases 2 and 3 of this new series I'm doing on fixing Sony's Spider-Man universe, and if you're looking forward to Spider-Man 4. Please like and subscribe, and see you all next time on Big Flick Energy.